Hello, my friend. Have you ever got to this point where you're so worked up and anxious and you can't get it to stop? That's what we're going to talk about today, how to overcome our anxiety. See, there's a statement that says to have anxiety is to be human, meaning if you live and breathe, you have anxiety. And the answer is not just to go like, stop it. Because I'm sure you've tried that, or others have told you to try that. And that's not how to get rid of anxiety. It is, though, pretty simple. It's a 3-step process, and we're going to go through it. But I just wanted to say before I do that simple does not mean easy. Sometimes this can be very difficult, and especially if we're super anxious. So the first one is to notice your anxiety. Notice. So there's 3 different ways anxiety first shows up in us. The first one is a spinning mind. So you're just thinking about something, ruminating on it for hours, sometimes days. That is anxiety. If you're thinking about a problem constantly, that's more than problem solving at a certain point. That is anxiety. The second one we can do to notice is our heartbeat. If your heartbeat is raising, that's a sign you're anxious. The third one, a tightening body. So for me, this shows up in my jaw. I'll realize I'm clenching. I won't even realize I'm anxious till all of a sudden my jaw starts hurting. In some people, this might be you get nauseous. There's a lot of different ways, but in the end, it's tightening body, your back, and you need a massage. It's how it shows up for my wife. So notice. Number 2, name. Okay, this is where a challenge comes in. You're going to be tempted to name it on a surface level, but the more specific you get about what you're worried about, the more the anxiety reduces. So let's just say for a second, you're nervous about money. And you're like, I'm nervous I'm gonna go broke. Or I'm nervous I'm gonna be homeless. Play it out a little further. Because though those concerns might be real, what happens with anxiety is anxiety usually says something about who we are as people. Or what someone thinks about us. That's what our mind does. Where, okay, yes, I'm worried about this. Okay, is that practical that you're going to lose your house? Probably not. For some, unfortunately, it is. And if so, what about that would upset you? Outside of being homeless, what, does it say something about you personally? Are you worried that that means that you messed up? Or maybe that life is hopeless from this point? What is it for you? Name it. For me, I get concerned financially. For multiple different reasons, but one of them is because I'm worried about what other people will think of me if I make this public mistake. So name for you, what is it? A good place to start is what people think about you, that you don't have an answer, perfection, control, needing to know the answer. Those are just a few, but for you, what is it? Number 3, diffuse. Okay, so sometimes noticing and naming honestly will get you above your anxiety enough to where this thing engages again in a rational way. Before that, you'll be in almost like this lizard brain mode where you either fight, flight, or freeze. But if you notice and name concretely enough, you'll be able to breathe again. But we still need to diffuse to totally get rid of the anxiety. And here's how you diffuse. It's quite fun. And that's the first one. You're going to look for who are people that energize you, that fill you up. It's not everyone. It's not all the people you love, because I love some people that don't fill me up. My kids, who I love dearly, don't fill me up at this stage in their life. My wife does. She's one of the people. But so who is it for you? Without judgment. Don't judge if it's right or wrong that a certain person fills you up in the beginning. Just write them down and think about it. And number 2, what are activities you like to do? What are activities that energize you, that fill you up? See, I love going to Oregon Duck football games. It doesn't fill me up, though. It exhausts me. I'm around people. I'm an introvert. I'm usually getting way too into the game, somehow it changes my life. It doesn't. I get too worked up, right? That's an example of something I enjoy but doesn't fill up. So you got to be careful with this. Fly fishing, I both enjoy and it fills me up. I'm out there alone often or with a close group of friends or family. I'm sitting in the creation, just like this video with the forest behind me. Like that's a filling up thing. So that's a place, by the way. That's the third one. It's what places fill you up. For me, it's the woods, rivers, lakes. For you, what is it? People, places, activities. Write a list. In the moment when you have anxiety is not the time to figure this out, by the way. It's when you're calm and clear-headed. And you can write it down in advance. So sometimes when I go home, I've had a hard day of work. I'm freaking out mentally. I got spinning mind going on. I went from a work problem to we're going to lose everything because now my business is going under and I death spiral down. My wife knows, hey, I fill him up and he likes to walk with me. Invite him to go on a walk. And I don't even have to initiate sometimes. So I hope this helps for you to overcome anxiety. Remember, it's simple 3 steps. Notice that you're anxious. You got to notice. The earlier you are, the better. Name what it is you're anxious about and diffuse it through people, places, and activities that fill you up. Hope this helps you to overcome your anxiety and be in control of it rather than it be in control of you.